Hi, it's Bren Murphy here from MindBodyCalm, just demonstrating the experience of mindfulness in this setting at the beach. As you can see, you can probably hear the sound of the ocean. You can't smell the salt air. You might be able to hear some birds in the background or some of the people over at the bars. So I'll just sort of give you a round view of where we are. We're right here at just off the rock platform behind Merriweather Bars. So it's a very close place. You can see in the background the bars there. So this is where we sort of head in this direction around here. And now I thought I'd give you an experience of what to expect on a mindfulness moment with me and with MindBodyCalm. And this time this discussion will be on anxiety. Anxiety is a state that is aroused when something important to us is uncertain and perhaps not within our control. It's closely linked to success because it generally comes when we are moving into new areas of change and growth. In many ways, the ability to feel anxious but not be paralyzed by it is crucial to being successful in any field. Anxiety is a normal part of the human experience and exists in the space between fear and excitement. The trick is to steer it away from fear and towards excitement. If we go towards the excitement end of the spectrum, anxiety gives us energy to perform at our peak level. But if we get stuck in fear, then we find the experience of anxiety disabling. For some of us, anxiety exists as a constant and unwelcome background companion. This is connected with a personality type that is prone to depression and worry, and occasionally panic. But it's also closely linked to the perfectionist archetype. Perfectionists measure everything that is said and done against their own standards of perfection, and they end up finding themselves lacking. This lack makes them sensitive and creates anxiety, so that even well-meaning comments, suggestions and instructions can be completely misconstrued and seen as criticism. Perfectionists have an eye for detail, but not for everything, just the things that are important to them. Perfectionists have a tendency to get bogged down in details when they feel inadequate, and then they start to procrastinate. So there's no action. Everything grinds to a halt, with this perfect ideal moving ever further into the distance. Perfectionists have a lot of rules about how they should behave, about how other people should behave, and about how things should work. And when these standards and rules aren't met or maintained, the perfectionist can quit and withdraw in protest. That's why you see a lot of perfectionists on the sidelines or behind the stage or in supporting roles or in administrative roles, but not actually on the stage, not in the heat of action doing it. So for this mindfulness exercise, we are working with the perfectionist archetype and the core need for acceptance. We've spoken about anxiety, we've spoken about perfectionism and how it's a part of everybody. So perfectionists, once you learn to accept yourself, you in turn give others permission to accept you. And then there's massive potential for inspired genius. So if we were on a mindfulness walk now, after that introduction, that would be the trigger for your meditation and your mindfulness. So you'd mull over those thoughts as we enter a meditative state. To help keep you in the gap, I suggest some breath work, which in this case would be on the inhale, I'd suggest using I accept the situation, and on the exhale you'd say I accept myself. So it would be inhale, I accept my situation, exhale, I accept myself. And you'd repeat that noiselessly for the duration of the mindfulness exercise. At intervals during the mindfulness, I will ring a bell to keep you grounded and to give you a reference point or a signpost as you're in a mindfulness state that we are progressing. And it also gives you a sense of security that you're not just lost in like a 9 or 20 minute mindfulness experience where it can seem like it's never going to end. That can be really threatening to beginners or people who are new to the practice. So to have a regular reminder at intervals of 1 minute or 3 minutes during the practice, people have commented and said that's really helpful. I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to come along on a wellness walk. They're now running 7 days a week at beautiful locations like this across Newcastle. And as an example, that's one of the topics we cover. Anxiety is very popular, and each of us has the potential to explore our own relationship with anxiety or with perfectionism or different archetypes and different areas of our personality and psyche in the mindfulness experiences. So it's not all heavy, deep personal development stuff. There is a general tone of fun and curiosity around it all. So the overall feedback from participants is that you come away feeling lighter and less lost in your thoughts, more connected with your body, and definitely with a sense of the power of nature and being not lost in the city or not lost in the suburbia, but definitely getting that feeling of getting back to nature. The best thing you can do right now is go to my website, mindbodycalm.com.au, and there's a subscribe section where it says hit for updates, so you can subscribe right there. And I'll send out an email once a week with our updated calendar where we're featuring our next walks. For example, this week we're going to new places like King Edward Park, which has, in contrast to this, beautiful lush green grass, deep shade, and some amazing panorama views around the bogey hole and beautiful gardens with flowers. On other times there's the Friday afternoon Nobbies walk, which is heavily focused on letting the stress of the week, the business week, go, and just getting into the moment and preparing for a nice calm weekend. On Sunday mornings you might prefer to join me at the Ullabar track at Glenrock, which is a really sacred experience. It's almost as a substitute for a traditional church service. We'll go inward. It's a silent mindfulness experience. So just that alone gives it a lot of gravity and a lot of inward aspect, which is really powerful for people, depending on how you're feeling. So at MindBodyCalm, we've pretty much aimed to cover all aspects of where you are at or what you might be feeling. So there's a particular walk that will suit each and every one. Again, I'd like to just remind you that the walks aren't unduly vigorous or require a high level of fitness. The average distance covered during a walk is just over a kilometre, 1.2 kilometres I guess, and around 50% of the time, because people have mentioned like they go for 75 minutes or 2 hours or 90 minutes, the length of time you are on the walk, at least half if not more, is in mindful meditation. So you are seated concentrating on your breath. So it's not like a high energy physical experience. So I'd just like to invite you to come over to mindbodycalm.com.au and subscribe. There is a great start. Also, you can join us on Meetup, which is another site, meetup.com. If you use the search there, you'll find us under Mindfulness Newcastle. Also on Facebook, as facebook.com/mindbodycalm. You can follow our progress there. So there's so much happening. It's been an amazing journey so far, and we have regular social events on Thursdays from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. Again, you'll have to subscribe at mindbodycalm.com.au for full details of that to be part of our community. My name's Bren Murphy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.